Imagine if some of the most legendary singers in music history were still with us today. Icons like Elvis Presley, Freddie Mercury, and Janis Joplin left a lasting impact. But how old would they be now? These artists, whose timeless music still resonates, would be in their 70s, 80s, or even 90s. What might they have achieved if they had lived longer? This is the story of, if legend singers were alive, how old would they be now? If Prince were alive today, he'd be 66 years old, still redefining the limits of music and style. Born in 1958, Prince Rogers Nelson was a powerhouse of creativity, blending rock, funk, pop, and R&B into a genre-defying sound that made him one of the most influential artists of his time. Known for hits like Purple Rain and 1999, Prince's enigmatic personality and showmanship kept audiences captivated for decades. Even his unconventional releases, remember Lovesexy, proved that Prince played by his own rules, and we loved him for it. He wasn't just a musician, he was an icon who reshaped the culture of an entire era. Had Q Sakamoto lived, he'd be 82 years old today. Best known for his international hit Sukiyaki in 1963, Sakamoto was the first and only Japanese artist to top the Billboard Hot 100 in the US, a feat that made him a global sensation. His smooth, crooning voice carried across cultural barriers, charming listeners worldwide, even if they couldn't understand the Japanese lyrics. A prominent figure in Japan's post-war music scene, Sakamoto's career was tragically cut short by a plane crash in 1985. Still, his song lives on as a timeless classic, echoing a deep sense of nostalgia for simpler times. Karen Carpenter would be 74 years old today if she were still with us. Her warm, soulful voice gave life to the Carpenters' unforgettable catalog, with hits like Close to You and We've Only Just Begun. Karen's effortless vocals and her brother Richard's polished arrangements made the duo one of the most successful pop acts of the 70s. Though Karen faced immense personal struggles, her music continues to touch generations, offering comfort and tranquility. Her sound was more than just soft pop. It was the voice of a woman who sang from the heart, connecting deeply with listeners on a human level. If Kurt Cobain were alive today, he would be 57 years old, likely still wrestling with fame, even as his band Nirvana continues to define the grunge era. Cobain's raw emotion, combined with the angst-filled lyrics of Smells Like Teen Spirit and Come As You Are, captured the feeling of a generation disillusioned with mainstream culture. He became the reluctant voice of the 90s Generation X, despite his resistance to the title. Even in his short life, Cobain's influence on rock music and alternative culture remains unmatched. His songwriting, haunting yet brilliant, still resonates with fans who appreciate his vulnerability and honesty. Cass Elliot, also known as Mama Cass, would be 82 years old today. As a member of the Mamas and the Papas, her powerful voice turned songs like California Dreamin' and Monday, Monday into 60s anthems. Cass was more than just a vocalist, though. Her infectious personality and humor made her a beloved figure in the counterculture movement. Even when the group split, she kept shining as a solo artist. Sadly, she passed away in 1974, but her voice, often described as rich and soulful, continues to inspire new generations of musicians. If Eddie Cochran were alive today, he'd be 85 years old, likely still rocking out. Cochran was one of the pioneers of rock and roll, with hits like Summertime Blues and Come On Everybody paving the way for the rock revolution of the 60s. His rebellious attitude and guitar-driven sound heavily influenced later legends like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. Sadly, Cochran's life was cut short at 21 in a car crash in 1960, but his legacy as a teenage rock icon has never faded. He embodied the youthful, carefree spirit of early rock, a trailblazer taken far too soon. Cliff Burton, the bassist of Metallica, would be 62 years old today. Known for his groundbreaking bass playing on albums like Master of Puppets and Ride the Lightning, Burton helped shape the heavy metal scene with his virtuoso technique and passion. His unexpected death in a bus crash in 1986 shocked the music world, as he was just beginning to push the boundaries of what bassists could do in metal. Metallica's success continues, but for fans, Burton's contributions will always stand out. His influence on the band's early sound is impossible to overstate. He was, and still is, irreplaceable. Brian Jones, one of the founding members of the Rolling Stones, would be 82 today. He was the multi-instrumentalist who gave the Stones their early blues sound, contributing to hits like Paint It Black and Under My Thumb. Jones was known for his musical genius, able to pick up almost any instrument and make it sing. Despite his talent, he struggled with personal demons, eventually being dismissed from the band. His mysterious death in 1969, found drowned in a swimming pool at the age of 27, has made him part of the infamous 27 Club. Yet his mark on rock history remains undeniable. If Aaliyah were still with us, she'd be 45 today, possibly still redefining R&B and blending it with hip-hop in ways few have managed since. Known for hits like Are You That Somebody and Rock the Boat, Aaliyah's smooth voice, stylish persona, and ability to blend genres made her a trailblazer in the late 90s and early 2000s. Her sudden death in a plane crash in 2001, at just 22, shocked the world. Aaliyah left behind a legacy of innovation in music, fashion, and film, influencing countless artists who followed in her footsteps. Dimebag Darrell, the legendary guitarist of Pantera, would be 57 today. A metal icon, Darrell's crushing riffs and searing solos on songs like Cowboys from Hell and Walk helped shape the sound of 90s heavy metal. His playing was aggressive but precise, earning him a reputation as one of the best guitarists of his generation. Tragically, he was shot and killed while performing on stage in 2004. His legacy lives on through the bands he influenced and the fans who continue to blast his music. Dimebag's playing was larger than life, and the metal scene will never forget him. Thanks for watching. In this video, we took a look at some legendary singers and imagined how old they would be today if they were still with us. It's amazing to think about the incredible music they could have continued creating. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe to stay updated with more content like this. Drop a comment with your thoughts or questions below. We'd love to hear from you. Keep the music alive, and see you next time.